Tricked were lighting up the server over on Trade. An intense overtime game goes the way of the Danish squad. Now we head on through to Mirage, the map pick of Avangar, where they hope to pull this back and take us all three, take us the distance so that we can end up on Inferno, our grand decider.
Wow, and what a way to start it as well, right? Train, a great map for Avangar, one they've proven themselves on time and time again. And Trick, not only do they, bring them all the way to 30, but they get the win in overtime as well. And it feels weird for me to say that, right? They had the first map point in some sense, but the fact that you can go up and down so many times and still come out on top at the end just shows your resilience as a team, and that's something that Trick at least proven today. And
that's where having someone like Hunden in your squad, someone he, like so prolifically has always been, like one of the kind of like lifeblood players of the Danish CSC. There's always that joke about how all the big Danish players at some point have played on like a team with Hunden, and yeah, I mean that's what you want to look towards someone like that within this squad, just to try and keep the other guys composed, right? Keep everyone on the same page. Don't let it slip away from you, because we so often see a team might reach map point 2 or 3 times. When you get into those overtimes, it's so easy to let the pressure of that situation get to you. Avangar, though, let's talk a little bit about them, Hugo, because this is their map pick. They're now the team on the back foot, and for a lot of people, they were favorites to maybe take this entire event. So a pretty desperate spot to be in if you're Avangar here.
Yeah, not a team that we would have expected to go out in groups by any means of the word, but now, Harry, just a map away from that, a map away from getting grouped. That is a scary situation to be in, but it's also where maybe you come most alive, right? When your back's up against the wall, when an animal is trapped, it is most dangerous, they say. I guess it depends on the animal. If you trap a snail, pretty screwed, but yeah, Avangar, no snails, I can tell you that.
No, they are most definitely not, Hugo. Thank you for clearing that one up. Because, before that I was looking and I'm like, maybe they are. Maybe they are.
They have shells.
They have tough exteriors. And
slimy interiors. I
guess we all have to have slimy interiors. But Avangar, let's move on from their slimy interiors and talk about what we have to see them show on this map, Hugo. Mirage, obviously their map pick. Prolifically a very good map for Avangar. And one that Tricked, been a bit hit and miss on, but Mirage is kind of a map that every team in all the Counter-Strike history can play. So, I think it's still going to be a brawl. I think it's going to be very similar to Train in that sense that we could see another very, very close back and forth affair, right, with these two teams just duking this out over a long series. And I hope we get a long series. I hope this goes the distance.
I think one big difference maker coming into this second map is the pistol rounds, right? Back on the previous map, Tricked, they found both pistols. And as a result, Avangar on both halves forced very heavily early on. And not your traditional force where you just, buy up second round, eco third, buy fourth. They were buying up, saving 2 pistols, buying it up, round 2 pistols, and it was getting pretty crazy, Harry. And even when they were down 10-6, force buying 2 AKs and then buying a full rifle round with 2 Deagles, it was getting messy. I think if we see Avangar turn things around in the pistols here, they pick up 1 or 2 of them, and they start to take momentum off the back of that. We don't have these 4-0, 5-0 leads that Trick started both halves with. Remember that. They went 5-0 CT side, 5-0 T side, they went 4-0 CT side at the start of both halves. So the fact that, they're getting such brilliant beginnings is great, but it's also Avangar doing it to themselves.
Yeah, one thing that we noted back on Trade is that Avangar did throw away a lot of rounds in which they had that man advantage. They cannot afford to do that here on Mirage, which we're getting into here and now. Tricked over on the CT side, sitting 1-0 up in this series. And Avangar, well, they're stacked up outside of A. They're looking to throw in a quick set piece, Hail Mary A play, leaving CT open. Ooh. And this is where Shush is. He's already tapped down that first man. Oh, it's a slaughter, and everybody's dead. If you blinked, you missed it, but Trick just won another pistol round here to kickstart Mirage.
5 alive as well, Harry, not even close. I mean, these players are just walking out on the bench smokes and getting away with it. That's something that, doesn't exactly spell a great start for Avangar. You can't let those little tricks be used against you on your map pick, but, well, not the start they would have hoped for. Now I imagine a force, but no, Avangar taking a bit of a break. This is what I like to see, an eco round, a rarity. Flash from Kicker to get them out through Palace, and they're just going to go bombarding inside of the bomb site. Bor up close, crossfire with Shush, and he will make them quiet indeed. 3 kills for the man with the SMG, and Tricked another flawless round.
Yeah, this time, no aggressive purchases from Avangar in that second round.
Yeah.
Didn't get the bomb down, right? I feel like that was really the fuel for the fire in a lot of those situations when we saw those early buys try and come out. At least in their T half, this time they've played it safe and they go for full rifles early on. This is where we really saw Avangar find the bulk of their success, was not so much in those little force fires that they're so often so good at getting away with, right? It wasn't until they really had all the pieces of the puzzle there. So it does make sense that they've really put an emphasis on getting these weapons out as early as they can. Tricked challenging for top mid control. And that nade finds a decent bit of early damage onto James. That's going to soften him up and leave him in that one-shot headshot realm to the 1M4 that's up on the back of Acor. So maybe it won't matter all too much, as this is just that bonus round attempt from Tricked. These SMGs holding close over in Palace. Shush. Will he get rewarded for this patience?
Well, time will tell. Avangar have got plenty of it. Minute on the clock as the bomb gets picked back up. And here's where Buster begins to walk out through the Palace. So Shush will be challenged. Double peak, so good luck getting more than one here, and Buster will just send him packing, kick it with another kill, and Avangar running wild over this A site. Borat smoked down in the connector. It gives him a chance to take the fight to Palace, but a re-smoke, that's going to leave him with not a lot of options. Either commit in front of it and probably be traded, or go back and try and fall, but he gets through Borat. How on earth does he get so much work done? Trade is still there, an advantage for Avangar, but not for long as this flank comes in through the underpass. Bubsky dropping Fitch in the connector. 2-on-2, 25 seconds. They've got to deal with this man and Con before they get an open bomb plant down. And Sandy's done exactly that. Hunden's been shot down through the wall, and Kickit will finish it off. 3 kills from that man coming out through the Palace. Great round from him. Avangar find their first.
Yeah, still very close considering that was the bonus round from Trick. They've still got cash into this one, so we should see those rifles supplementing the CT side once again. Heading into this round, and indeed we will. Still just rifles across the board for Avangar. No AWP in sight and in the hands of James just yet. Likewise, nothing for Acor over on the side of Tricked. He's just rolling with the rifle. Early damage onto Borup, but it's Acor. Hidden close here on short. Might have been the X factor. Borup hopping through that smoke is Buster to get the trade, and they don't allow that mid attempt from Trick to cause them too many problems this time around, as it's promptly dealt with by Buster, finding both of those kills, opening up this avenue of the map, and in response, Sanji's going to start to clear out these lower tunnels.
Shush has moved back inside of A as well, and he may have caught the timing. Kickit's crept up on ramp, but that spray through the smoke gives away his position, and if anything, just works in his favor. Baits Kickit into the peak, and he gets away with a kill. That's going to equalize it. Can't afford to give up A now in a 3-on-3. They can play for retake, but no kit currently on the standing players. Keep that in mind. Avangar have utility to cordon out these players from the site. Hunden's dropped in on connector, and he's found Buster in the back. Sanji getting another opener into this A site, though, and Avangar, they love a trade down to the 2-on-2. Bomb plant can come in. Hunden looking for the lineup. Very close, but James going to send it right back. 30 seconds. It's Bubsky in a 1-on-2 as the bomb gets planted.
Triple, trying to spray down James, but not quite able to find all the damage. Now with both players repositioning into CT, Bubsky doesn't know the whereabouts of Sanji, and he's back-to-back with his brother over in CT spawn. Bubsky, as he's trying to clear all these angles, time ticking away from him. He doesn't have a kit to work with, so even if he does deal with James, which he's not able to do, so it actually doesn't even matter. Avangar get that second round. The 1v2 does not materialize for Bubsky. We are going to see Avangar tying this up nice and early on. And this is where we should see them move into the lead. Trick, they are all out of money now. Those winnings that they had from the pistol round and the round that followed have all dried up.
Just looking to flash their players into middle here. USP burst. Wait for Avangar to take position. And there's the flash straight through. Sanji's in the underpass as well. He's got the SMG. This is going to be a very easy round for Avangar, and they make it nice and quick. 4 players staying alive. They lose the SMG, but that's fine. They'll probably just buy up the AWP here, knowing the Trick, they're going to have guns coming up into this round anyway. Although no rush. James seemed fine with the rifle in these early couple of rounds, but now that the funds are presented, it's very tempting just to go straight in with the AWP. But no, sticks with the AKs, fair enough. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, that's a missed mid-smoke there from Avangar. Fitch has gotten out into mid, and I think he did spot that the window smoke missed as he goes ahead and throws his own one down. Alternatively, was that intentional? Was that actually a Yeah, they've done this, so now they can try and boost up James.
It's a little thing Fury abuses where they fake a window smoke to force a CT player back, but it doesn't always work out because Trick's not holding for it in this situation. And now the entry just coming in through for Avangar on A. They're just running out into the bomb site, and 4-on-3 bomb is left, but it might not be a problem. The issue is they've had to concede the site. These players are low, so they can't commit to holding the ground on A. Luckily enough, Sanji's still deep in the B apartment, so they can take this bomb all the way back. I don't think that window smoke miss was intentional, but yeah, there are teams starting to do that now where they fake a window smoke and they get it wrong, and then they throw a flash in while they boost players up from under. And because the CTs are, you know, so committed to fighting mid because they think, oh, I've got mid for free, they don't know window's not smoked, they never expect the other pass boost, but Hunden does.
Yeah, Hunden expects it all too much, and he's just snatched this man advantage away from Avangar. Actually even going to spot Kicker, and with it drop the bomb. 3 kills to his name. Rotations coming in. Hunden's doing everything right now, and he saved the day for Trick there. Not going to allow Avangar to continue to build upon this lead. Immediately back in with a response. And it is great seeing Hunden still putting up these big numbers within the server. He has been having a pretty phenomenal series thus far.
Yeah, definitely holding his own. I mean, not necessarily being the top of the scoreboard by any means, but getting a lot of important kills, getting a lot of crucial rounds for his team. And of course, he's leading these guys as well, the young guns on the Trick side, and they are being led up top mid. Hunden gets 1, but Buster busts them back with 2. Avangar retain the man advantage, but they might go swinging into Acor, who's posted up with the AUG. Lots of damage from that, and Buster's down to 20. Has to take the AWP instead. Although dropped over from the body of James, there's no one to stop him from grabbing that gun. And where do Avangar go from here? They have the bomb up in B apartments. They can try and split short, but only one man who can really stop this round, and that's Bubsky.
Oh, do be sure to keep your eye on Shush, who's crept all the way in through T-spawn. Now, it's the speed in which this flank comes through and how long Avangar float around in this mid portion of the map as to whether or not this really finds all too much success. Because Kicker has slowly but surely cleared out jungle, and this actually might make that bomb tempted to fall back. The problem is, currently it's in the hands of Sanji, who's up in the apartments. Shush could cut this bomb off, and he has. The bomb's been found, and Tricked are on it. Now, Fitch might be down through short. That could be a bit of an unknown quantity in this round. Acor's keeping an eye on the wrap in through jungle. They are going to lose Bubsky in the bomb site.
Oh, no.
Fitch wrapping around from behind. Buster dropped, however, and now Fitch has got to win this 1v1 onto Shush and try and get that bomb down. This does not feel doable. The bomb's even fallen down the staircase. This is not meant to be. And Tricked, they've stole that round back. Shush, a stellar flank, catching a brilliant timing. And Tricked are going to retake the lead.
You could see the thought process there of Avangar, right? They have the bomb up in the apartments while they lurk around in mid on the 4-on-3, and they catch a bit of a timing into connector and into window as a result. And at that point, they go, okay, right, what we could do is split this window player through their spawn and try and get through the back of market. But right as Shush comes in on the back line, they decide, okay, let's just bring the bomb through connector and take A. And that's when Sanji gets caught rotating. It was the perfect timing on that flank from Shush. You cannot get better. Right as Avangar make their decision, they get shut down. And as a result, Tricked, they pick it up in a disadvantageous position and take the lead back.
And one of the things I do like about this this Trick squad is they seem to be very proactive with their pauses, even thinking back to trade. Right? I know they called in a couple in that second half when it did feel like that lead was starting to slip through their fingers. But most of the pauses that we've seen them call have been on the back of winning rounds, right? They then want to try and focus on how they're going to approach the next one. And this one here is actually a very important round for Trick because the money has been fully invested from Avangar. If you pick this up, they're onto an eco in this following round, and with Jane falling early on, that's one of those rifles stripped away from Avangar almost immediately. Man advantage gain for Trick at a pivotal moment early on in this first half. And now with Bubsky starting to lay down some dominance over in the apartments, creeping forward, clearing out this avenue of the map. It's just further nullifying the avenues that Avangar could attempt to take into these bomb sites. Might even be able to catch this bomb on the stairs once again, so Avangar do have to be careful here.
Yeah, Tricked are so passive right now, considering the situation. They don't need to fight. You know, Avangar need to make the next move, and Borup waits for it in the window. Bubsky open the apartments, dropping the bomb. No one else there to trade. No one else there to pick the package back up, but Fitch will try and pick the pace up towards Palace, getting a kill to Hunden, and instantly Molly, he smokes on it to cut out the flames, but it's not going to matter. They need this bomb back, and Sanji's tasked with grabbing that. We'll be able to go back towards the underpass and try and set up for this A split, but you're really hoping for a hero in this round. It's got to be one of these two AKs. Sanji's not even armored, let alone armed. Shush waits on the balcony, and this could be the position to shut down the round. With 20 seconds, do they even have time to check it? Do they dedicate a man to this spot? Shush almost catches the timing on Buster, but will repeat back in just in the right time, getting that kill. And at this point, Avangar, what can you do? 15 seconds to get a bomb plant. Shush is repositioned. He will be taken down, but you still have this AWP to cut off the bomb plant. The bomb, meantime, is in the jungle. It's nowhere near the site. Sanji may get the frag, but he's not going to win the round. It's going to be Tricked.
And out of all the players to have hold on to a rifle, Sanji is arguably the kind of worst of that situation because he doesn't have armor. And now he doesn't get the loss bonus, so he's got to drop that AK over. You have to see a bit more investment in this round as a result from Avangar. Sanji has no money looking to the future. So they partially invest around this. They're going to have cash to invest in the round following, but it is just Sanji who is going to be that bit of a problem for them. He won't have the rifle.
Yeah, this is where I kind of justify the investment they're going for, right? Like, the alternative is you full eco this and you get nothing next round anyway. So, yeah, James going for an AK and getting some deagles here is a good idea for Avangar. It's a bit of an awkward spot to be in. But the issue is, at the end of the day, it's just going to let Tricked extend their round lead unless someone goes nuclear. And from what we've seen so far, I can't really expect that. Not in this map. It's been a slow start for Avangar. They've found a couple of rounds, but it's just been off of team effort more than anything. No one specifically stepping up. But let's hope James can be that man here with a hero AK. He's getting boosted. Looking for the above connector player, and now the window. Nice angle as well. Borup was not ready for that one. It's a big pickup for Avangar early on in this round. If they can try and get a player into that window, they can secure the weapon. But instead, walking out into A, Shush doesn't expect a second man. Avangar always good for a trade, but same story for A-Core. Drops that bomb in the middle of the site at the 50-second mark.
Bubsky's got to be careful. He doesn't want to risk falling here with this AWP. Before he leaves, he does get a bit of goodbye damage, a bit of a parting gift, and actually repositioning, shutting down James as well. Sanji, previously tagged up in this round, just 15 points of health. He'll get silenced, and it's Tricked, now up 6-3.
And it's nice to not see Bubsky over-rotate in that position, right? Because what Avangar just did after losing that bomb, instead of trying to focus their players on getting that bomb, they went, okay, we assume Tricked are going to be rotating, let's look for gaps. And James even pushed up short there. Bubsky takes him down, moving out of the apartments, but there's a world where James gets that kill, and suddenly that round is favorable for Avangar. But very much on top of the situation are Tricked. And 6-3 right now on the second map, looking damn good. Avangar, though, we've been waiting for this. It's another buy round from them. Still weak in terms of not having that AWP or even a rifle on Sanji, but they'll make do with what they got. Fast A play seems to be the doctor's orders. Hunden spraying away at the Palace. He won't be able to catch Kickit moving out of position. The Molotov does some damage, but Avangar still get into the site, and with a bomb plant as well. These smokes up for a few more seconds, and as they start to fade, Avangar fall back into their post plants.
Oh, and then this late flank coming in from Jay. Actually, might not ever materialize. He just decides to wrap back in through ramp. So they just load all 5 players into this bomb site. Bomb is planted for the ramp area, and with so many bodies here, could be a bit of a double-edged sword. That one smoke could potentially nullify this entire Avangar hold. And in the blink of an eye, everybody's falling. It's only Kick-Out left. Oh, he's gone through the smoke, but the trade is found. Hunden gets back on top of it. The defuse coming in, and it's down to the wire, but they will get it. 7-3. Trick. They make that 5v5 retake a reality. And that's quite a feat. I mean, those sort of situations are so easy to get out of hand. You know, you saw there had to be players back in mid watching for those flanks, so it wasn't a 5v5 inside of the bomb site. It was more like a 3v5 initially.
And don't let the amount of players that Tricked get away with there convince you that that was a clean round. That came down to 1 second. If Kicker gets one more kill there, Avangar win the round. So it's so close. A second between that defuse. And now Avangar, they are just on the edge of these rounds, but not quite getting a grasp of them. And we've yet to see a T-side AWP for James. That's a bit of a problem. And now a double AWP for Tricked. I mean, the second Avangar win a round, they are going to reap the rewards of free AWPs, free upgrades, but they've got to get past that first hurdle. Kicker trying to clean up this A site, but he's going to get caught throwing a jump molly. Shush gets the angle, and Tricked, another man advantage. Akor's even here to cut off the Palace, a point that has been pretty favorable for Avangar in terms of getting out into this A site so far. It's Buster coming from that position this time. Hunden moves up Cat to watch the window boost, which allows the connector players to at least dedicate some of their attention towards A, but there's still 2 teams in middle. Fitch has found the opener, of course he has. And Buster's found a timing in through the Palace as well, so this isn't too bad for Avangar. That's made significantly better with Sanji catching Borat, moving aggressively through middle. Avangar 4-on-3, they don't need to commit, they've got a bit of time to group up, and that they will do through the spawn and back towards A. Fitch has bomb.
Yeah, Bubsky's keeping an eye on this cross. If they try and go for the... I mean, you can plot off a ramp without going that deep, but Akor should still be able to have his head on a bit of a swivel and maybe play into this round. The rotation coming in as well, and they will try and get this bomb planted. They're not quite able to find it. Ooh, very close from Akor, but not quite. 3v4 double AWP retake. I'm not even sure that Tricked are going to give this one too much attention. Yeah, they're already falling out. They decide against it. Bubsky was a long way away. Hunden was the only man who was nearby, along with Akor over in Connector. But they would have effectively been 2v4 until Bubsky gets into a position. And with the AWPs, you know, with one flash to try and get you into that bomb site, they just decide it's not worth their time nor effort. This will be Avangar onto a 4th, however. Still haven't really got to see James on the AWP yet.
He's not had it at all.
And I think it is just all on the back of money. There's never really been a time that the cash has been there. The one round, I think, where they've had some residual cash, he already had an AK purchased up and didn't want to go for an AWP buy.
Yeah, I think it was that. I think they had like 4 alive, and it was Sanji died, and it was the decision as, does Sanji drop James and AWP, or do they just run rifles? And they were winning with rifles. They were like 3-2 up, so there was no reason for them to get an AWP at that point in time. Wait for Trick to be the first to buy it, win a round, get it for free. But since that round, Harry, Avangar haven't won a T-side round. It's been flawless for Trick. So they've had some great rounds, obviously up until that point there with the post part working in their favor. But Trick had 5 in a row prior to that. Still looking good for the Danes, but Avangar starting to warm up into this T-side. 7-4, no AWP, and the double AWP still running strong for Trick.
Yeah, you can really see that justification. I mean, with the buy here from Trick, that I mean, she's made good work with that AWP. Quick work of those players that try and get up through the ramp. And even though there's an attempt at an equalizer, they do shut Hunden down over in mid. It's still the man advantage turned in favor of Trick on the back of Shush inside of the A bomb site. Avangar now backs against the wall, a man down, minute and 15 seconds left, so plenty of time, but not much control across the map. They're going to turn their attention now back towards middle. Problem is, losing those 2 players early and it being somewhat late on in the round, a lot of the utility is gone from Avangar here, so they've just got a slow creep down through mid. They're very, very lucky right now that no one from Trick is here to challenge. They have found themselves a bit of a gap to try and work with, but it's Bubsky over on short who will be that initial point of contact for this mid play.
There's the flash. It's actually a nade, rather. Just trying to do damage to Bubsky, and he moves away just as they cross, so no info. 30 seconds here. Avangar, I don't even know what site they're heading. I imagine it's B, but with 3 on Catwalk, who knows? They could jump into the window here, try something crazy. There's no one covering that position. And that seems to be the play being made. James drops off at the same time Sanji lands. There's no noise cue there. It's layered up, tricked. Now getting dealt with the A play, but that bomb is still up on Catwalk right now. Good timing for Kicker. Catches the kill. Is there time for the plant? James coming on the flank on Market. What a huge play from Avangar. They forced the rotates towards A, and they caught the timing with 1 second left to get a plant on B. Impeccable. This team ceases, or never ceases, to amaze me. Shush now left. He's got to ace this round to win it, and with 10 points out, he might just opt to save.
That was such such a cool decision from Avangar to go for the double window drop to cover the noise of James and Sanji. And what that meant was Sanji then just opening up into the A bomb. So as you say, not only begins to force those rotations, but it gives that kind of false sense of security to the players over at B that it's going to either be that A split or that the man that's been boosted into window is at the A bomb site. So they start that rotation back, and as a result, James' deep position within the in the shop just completely goes unaccounted for, and he's allowed to catch kills on the back of it.
It goes both ways as well, right? That push-up short from Kicker. There's no way you're expecting the bomb on short at 12 seconds. Who would? Especially when you've just seen a player inside of that A site. So James and Kicker get a kill at the same time, and both the B players die, opening up that bomb plant. Really nice work from Avangar. I didn't know what they were going to do there. I had no idea how they'd make that work, but they get around from it. Really, really nice work. And let's see if they can take it any further. 7-5. Full eco for Tricked. Just a saved weapon. Avangar grouping up outside of A early on. 3 CTs on the defending side, but not for long. Hunden's rotated off of A. This leaves just Borup and Shush, or Borup and Akor. Shush is too far away to have an effect with this Org for now.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much around where you're hoping that either Shush just goes absolutely insane, and that's not going to happen because he's very far away. He's cleared out the apartments. And so now, I mean, these pistols should just get torn apart. They're doing a fairly decent job of at least buying time and keeping Avangar out of this bomb site. Shush is still on this wrap in through T-Spawn, trying to make a big play in this round. Borup's going to get one. Shush still on this wrap, and that's still unaccounted for. The bomb is dropped back towards ramp as well. They have to take a couple more seconds to retrieve it, but I don't think he's going to go any further than this. Avangar are keeping an eye on the wrap round. They know that Shush was the guy to save in the round prior, so he's just going to wait and try and play for the exit. I like this decision from Shush. Ooh, Sanji.
Hello.
He's got an inkling. He's got a feeling. Kicker just didn't believe him, did he? Like, no. Nah, he's not ramp. He was ramp.
He's getting flanked from Palace as well. Got to watch out. James is creeping, crawling with the AWP. Although I doubt James will hunt too heavily. Rather keep that gun going for another round. Nice to see James at least on the AWP on this T side as well. It's been a long time coming. For a team so dedicated to getting this weapon out in James' hand, you would think they would have had it earlier, but yeah, just economy woes really for Avangar. Luckily now, these have all been turned on their head. 6-7, very strong half for Avangar. Still not over though, not out of the woods. Tricked have another buy round up their sleeve, and Akor's on the AWP. What have they got for us? Bit of a cat jump for Borup, and Hunden's going to push the top of middle as well. But a double aggression up the top, and Hunden gets it first. Fitch going down. The man who's been finding so many entries for Avangar will fail to do so today.
Ooh, I think Bubsky's given himself a little gap in the bottom right of that smoke. Nah, maybe not.
Not really purpose.
There's James finding that late trade onto Hunden down in mid. I like the double aggression from him and Borup, and I like how measured it was, right? You so often see teams maybe get a bit ahead of themselves. They get that first man, and then on the back of that, you get the bloodlust in, right? You think, okay, let's just blindside everyone in top mid, right? We'll keep going. But Hunden, very reserved, does just fall on back and, you know, gets shut down later on in the round. So maybe won't make all the difference. This A player about to come through from Avangar. 2 players here. Akor's one of them, and with the AWP, inside of the bomb site. He is going to be hard pressed if this Palace play comes in. No one's keeping an eye on it. Just as Shush looks away, the push comes in. He's done good damage. He's found the first and the second. James gets the trade, but Shush has made this round possible. Bubsky and Borup on the B rotation. The triple threat. Buster primed and ready. Does get the first man. Bubsky now down in com. Will they be ready for him? Repositioning into the jungle, and they have a bit of a crossfire set up. Now you can just look to play the trade game, play the numbers. Bubsky's the man who's got to make a move, and he takes the initial peek onto Buster. Now just James left to try and overthrow. Down at the ramp right now. Bubsky desperately looking for anything that can help him with the monumental task of defusing this bomb, but it's not plotted for ramp, and he's got a kit. He actually takes the peek back into it, and now I think he's realized he can just drop this smoke and stick the defuse. James goes running in, and James gets it with a second left on the clock. Avangar tie this up 7-7. Bomb might not have been planted for him, but James comes crawling out of his hidey hole and snatches his prey away.
Surprised he didn't just run away in that situation. But yeah, that's going to hurt. Bubsky knows he could have stuck that bomb and probably would have won the round as a result. So very, very unfortunate. Can't really blame him for going for the fight, knowing that, you know, the bomb's not planted for James. So James really should have peeked once he heard the tap. But what was a steal on this man? Ooh, didn't spot that cross there. That's dangerous. His gun's going to be sticking out, and he's going to go down. Shush gets aggressive with a teammate in tow, and they'll get 2 for none. Tricked with a massive advantage already into this round, just seconds in, and they'll find the bomb if they go probing any further. Borup won't be so inclined to do so, but that bomb will get picked back up, and Fitch spots the spawn location. Acor even kills one in middle. This is falling apart for Avangar.
Yeah, and after such a big comeback, right, you were hoping to win the half out if you're Avangar. You've really turned this game on its head. You've taken the last 4 rounds rather consecutively. And now on the back of just a ramp push with Shush, he might have been able to secure an 8-7 half for Tricked and have them actually win that out heading into the second. Sanji, a lot of this going to fall onto his shoulders. How much space can he create from down here in connector? They're keeping an eye on it, and he'll get bested almost immediately. It's Fitch left alone. Tricked looking likely to pick up an 8-7 half here.
And not much Fitch or anyone else can do about it. Borup's already pushed in the Palace off angle of the century. Fitch isn't ready for it. 8 rounds for Trick. They do manage to take the lead moving into that second half. Very good showing on Mirage, considering this is Avangar's map pick, and being a map up means they are close to heading to the semi-finals. Will they be able to do it, or will Avangar come alive when we need them most? Find out in just a moment.
Gasoline road, gasoline, gasoline road, gasoline road, gasoline. Gasoline road, gasoline road. Go to college, yeah, the folks travel the globe, but my heart beats to the sound of a chopper hill for leather on gasoline road, gasoline road. I've been thinking of you, I've been thinking just what to do. We were born in
Things are looking tricky here for Avangar. They are sat one round behind Tricked, but they are a map down in this series. This was their map pick, and one that we expected them to come into looking hot. But Tricked, they've risen to the occasion, and they've kept this competitive with young gun Shush leading the way right now. 21 kills to his name, keeping up that amazing performance from Train earlier on. Avangar now moving into the CT side of their map pick, looking to take us to Inferno. Let's not forget the winner of this best of three will be heading on through to the semi-finals. The loser goes home.
Pressure is on right now, especially for Avangar, who don't have a map in this series to their name. James got to watch out. They're wrapping jungle right now, but push towards bench are Tricked in the meantime, getting out through ramp and getting the bomb down on A. The heavy B setup for Avangar will mean they are incorrect, at least for now, but they have the kit for the retake. It's not the end of the world. 5-on-5 here. Not the most common, but let's see if they can make it work. Kick a great shot from the top side. Fitch has got another as well. Palace player has to get at least one here, but Acor's going to fall as well. This is perfect. Open bomb plant doesn't mean a thing where Fitch is popping off like this. 3 headshots. Hunden's got to stop that defuse, but in a 1-on-5, they're already on it, and he is too late to the party. Kick it to clean up, and it's a full house for Avangar. 8 rounds taken, and their first pistol in this series.
That's such a dominant one at that, right? It's not like it was down to the wire. It's not like it comes down to those tense 1v1 scenarios. It is just a complete and utter annihilation from this man on your screens. Fitch lighting up the scoreboard once again, continuing to put in work for this Avangar squad. See, those odds have shrunk right on down.
Yeah.
It was actually, when this started, it was in favor of Avangar, then it flipped to Tricked after that first map.
It was still in favor for Avangar after the first map. That's the crazy thing. I don't know if it was, I think the odds were for the map rather than the match, but the odds at the start were in favor of Avangar. I found interesting. And for the map, I would agree, definitely. But they're being put to the test.
I mean, there's not really much invested for Trick. They lose that pistol, so they're just hoping for a bomb plant here, focusing on the buy in the next round. You've got one flash on Hunden to try and get you into the bomb site. Didn't blind anyone, however, and as they go running across, Kicker makes quick work of this play on in. However, the bomb was juggled into the hands of Acor. In their dying breath, they threw it into the bomb site, and he is able to get that planted. So Trick, they will take that all day long.
Yeah, more than happy with that. Low investment, lots of reward, but it's still Avangar taking the lead back. 9 rounds on the CT side, and Trick coming in with the buy. They're going to have the AWP at least as an option. I wonder if Jame will be in a similar boat. He had an SMG in that round. Didn't quite catch his money, but I can't imagine it's 5,000. Let's see. Oh, he's got it dropped over. Lucky him. Fitch has taken the hit, thrown over that AWP, and now the game really starts. AWPs on both sides, rifle rounds in. Avangar just holding the lead by a thread.
And early on, Trick just spreading out, holding this very passive default, keeping an eye on any apps aggression. Now going to start to clear out the lower tunnels as well. Yet to spot anyone. Acor just waiting all the way back in mid, seeing if Avangar throw in any of that top mid control that we know Trick like to do back on their CT side. Will not be the case, and now they leave the apartments back into T-spawn, and this might just culminate in a set piece into A. To hold that default early, haven't spotted any aggression. They know that as a result, Avangar have to be playing pretty reactively here, right? They're not going to have these rotations on the back of any forward information from anyone in their squad. Instead, it will just be playing off of the responses that they get from Tricked. And so they feel pretty comfortable to throw this little set piece in. Borup throwing in that bench Molotov. We've seen that a few times now, just to try and cut off any players moving in through those bench smokes. Borup on the entry, Kicker here alone, and he's going to get followed up onto. James smoked off back in CT. The rest of the squad have fallen, and this could be a save already for Avangar.
Yeah, that execute was lovely from Trick. The reason that's so sick is they get 2 Molotovs down from ramp side, one on triple, one on default. And from that, they know that you know, two of the most important positions that Avangar would love to play on A are not filled with Avangar players, so it allows Trick to at least focus on the off angles.
Yeah, I don't know why I call triple bench. I guess they're near each other, but...
I mean, they may have got a bench molly. I didn't quite catch it, but the molly that Borup threw was a triple molly. That's the flip side molly that they came up with. So, cutting out a lot of positions for Avangar and kind of just leaving them in the open where, you know, Max, you're going to get a kill and get traded. They didn't even get that. It's one kill for Avangar in this round, but it's actually by the bomb. So, Trick get away with it. 4 players alive. The AWP carried forward for James as well. And 9-9. This is so back and forth.
And one of the scary things I feel like, you know, if you're Avangar in this situation is Trick, that was a very standard A execution. Like the 3 smokes go in. Okay, yeah, the Molotovs were nice, but it's not like it's anything remarkable. He didn't head into that being 5-on-4 up. That was just a standard A site play. And they get it very, very cleanly on the back of that. I feel like Hunden kind of realizes that Avangar, the way they like to play with James is even though he's a very talented AWP, someone who can just pop off, he does play these very safe positions, right, where he can save if needed, where he can hold on to that AWP. And I felt, you know, that round there, with all those smoke trading into CT, you nullify James, and if you can nullify James, you can nullify a big bulk of Avangar.
Yeah, without doubt. He's got to be finding these opening kills. He's got to be relieving the pressure, and you can see he wants to this round aggressively up on Catwalk. But Tricks are just so slow. Not giving them an inch. Not even in middle. I wonder if that will change. No, not for now. Going back towards A, another default round from them. Fitch has got at least the information early on. He's aggressive on ramp, but no Molotov to stop a push. He could throw down a smoke, but he risks getting split from the Palace, and Trick to have players up there as well. Or at least a player, that's Bubsky. So right now, it's a rough time for Avangar. They've got to do what they couldn't do in the previous round. Hold their own against this A-side take. It's a very similar situation for Trick. This time the smoke on ramp could be eluding them. Fitch is hiding in it. Borup's ready. Ticket sprays and prays, and he finds 2. That's far better. 3-on-3 as Trick get the site, and they will be able to get a plant, but this time Avangar can consider the retake.
Yeah, that's all thanks to Kicker, really. Whoa. Stepping up to the call when it was asked of him.
Oh my.
No smoke for CT, so Hunden, he's been naded down low, and he's at the floor. Oh no, that fire started creeping. He'll get burnt. Oh, Acor. James actually going to be the man to land it. Sanji coming in from CT. Somehow Avangar get that round back under control. Oh, Satish Acor had his eye on that position. Yeah. It looked like he was debating taking a little shot, but decides against it.
Man, Hunden got bullied in that round, right? He gets to triple, he gets spammed down to 50, he gets mollied so he can't cross the CT, he gets naded down to 3 HP, and then the molly spreads and kills him. Cannot catch a break. They say gods are unkillable, but I don't know about that one. 10-9 right now. Avangar back in the lead. James back up on Catwalk and looking to take matters into his own hands. Oh, James! That is despicable.
And that's the James we want to see. Not the James that's hiding behind the CT smoke wall. We want to see the James that short boosts, finds a double.
Through the smoke wall.
Through the smoke. And this round has already just been thrown into utter disarray. Whatever Trick had planned, that is out the window now.
But Borup's in it.
Now he's broken in. He's behind enemy lines. He's found the first man. Will not anticipate another, but somehow he's still alive. Do not know how he gets across there. 1 HP. Does he survive this, though? 1 bullet is all it takes. So much as a breath in the wrong direction, and he goes down. And I tell you what, another thing to keep in mind is Sanji on this wrap round in through T-spawn. Silently so. He's a bit of an X-Factor, a bit of a fail-safe in this round, and they might need him because Shush has turned this on its head. Buster finally able to deal with him. Sanji falls on this flank, and Bubsky doubles up. Trick, they're tying this up 10-10, and it's Bubsky and Shush leading the charge.
That was a 3-on-5, Harry, within seconds. Jane killed 2 players up top mid, and somehow we still see Trick get away with that. The window play is huge as well. The fact that they not only managed to get Jane taken down, but stay alive within the window room, incredible. Big round for Shush. He's continued his performance from Train, sitting at the top of the server by a big margin this time. He's not being challenged by anyone. only player above 20 kills, and he's deep within that number anyway. Considering a few months ago, I'd never even heard this guy's name, and now he's destroying Avangar on LAN, about to knock them out, about to head to the semi-finals. I may be, getting ahead of myself here, but this is, a map in favor of Tricked and 10-10. Anyone's game, yes, but Tricked are hugely favored. They've broken the money of Avangar. James back on the AWP, but that's the only investment in this round except for pistols. I'm not even sure about this one.
Yeah, you've put a lot of faith in James, and no one else is invested. Now James doesn't have the AWP when the rest of the team have a full buy.
He has to save.
Yeah, that feels a bit mismatched. Now we know that James is the best saver in the game. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, still, you can get caught out. He's over in mid, trying to keep an eye on window right now. And there's 3 players on the other side of this little gap. Tries to peek ahead of the smoke. Won't land anything on that pre-fire. It will be the short play from Trick. Now, if they continue this, they're walking into a fully stacked bomb site, even with just the pistols and that one AWP on James lying in wait. That is no easy task. There's still a potential for this to go very, very wrong for Trick.
Fast B play though, and let's see if these pistols work out for Avangar. James hit a shot, and that bomb's been dropped up on the archway. Shush has to trade it back, and he does, but only for 2. Maybe it's enough. But still one more player on the site, and Shush deals with him as well. Now they haven't seen the boost. Buster's hidden inside of the site, but surely he checks it, yes. 4 kills. Shush is just not stopping. 28 frags right now, and it might just be enough to send Tricked into that semi-final.
Man, I tell you what, you could tell that, it's becoming the summer season because it's harvest time, right? And the Tricked farm team, they're in danger of losing Shush right now. He's looking like one hell of a player to keep an eye on. This has been great watching him these last few days. I've really enjoyed it because coming into this, I hadn't really heard too much about him. I knew the name, but not the player, if that makes sense. And he's been looking good within this server for Trick. Really has been the man at the helm of this squad.
It's the older than new, Harry. We've got Hunden leading. We've got 20-year-olds fragging. I mean, as said on the desk as well, coming into this series, right? Don't get confused. Don't think that Tricked are the quote-unquote young team here. Avangar still have a bunch of 19, 20, 21-year-olds on their roster. Average age of 20, if not including Fitch. So it goes both ways, but Shush is not making it easy for these guys. Another B stack for Avangar. It might work out, considering Trick to set up quickly towards the B apartments, but surely Tricked are a little bit more aware it happened in the previous round. Nice and slow, though. Still working their way through middle and underpass at the same time. Borup splitting with Hunden. No AWP for James. As said, Harry wasn't able to save it in the previous round, so he's playing for that next buy. Luckily enough, if we see Fitch's money, he's going to be able to drop that over. So we still have that coming up.
This is why that decision to go for the AWP in the round prior, it wasn't the mistake, I don't think. It was more the fact that they didn't choose to at least invest in armor on the rest of the guys. Right? That could have made a difference, because if they were going to eco this round regardless, I felt like you could have put a bit more
oomph.
Yeah, a bit more oomph. That's a good one. Yeah, a bit more oomph into that round.
I guess they want more in their buy round. That's the thing. Like, you don't want to... Because, Harry, what you're arguing there is for Avangar to go full Avangar, and I don't want that. I want some rifle rounds. So let's...
I mean, this just feels like the weirdest way to arrive at one.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm happy to see them not buying for a change, and let's see if they can get anything done with these pistols. There are 25 seconds left, but only one player on this A site committed. Kicker's coming in through spawn. Sanji's got to do it all, really, but he has got time to do that. 20 seconds, and the push comes through, and they find the frags. Not a worry. This round is done. It was just that quick second where we had that question. Avangar not able to get the kills, and as a result, not able to get the round. Buster could make it expensive, though. He's found Hunden up on Cat. Bubsky shut him down, and James is too far away. We'll look for that gun up on short. But other than that, I don't see too much being made of this round for Avangar. It's tricked up to 12.
And it really is getting scary for Avangar here. I mean, it was scary enough, right? Even when the lead that they had was very minimal, just because they're a map down in this series and Tricked are looking so good. I mean, even when they had the lead, I was still fearful for them. And now they don't even have that anymore. They're 12-10 down here. Map number 2, Tricked sitting 1-0 up in this series right now. For those of you who are just tuning in, for those of you who have just joined us, this game decides who goes home and who locks in that semi-final spot, and it's Tricked, the underdog in this best of 3, currently sitting with that 1-0 map advantage. And 2 rounds ahead here on the map pick of Avangar.
Here's where the big guns come out, Harry. Double orb for Avangar. Buster's going to be up in the B apartments with that one, and this is where things could get interesting. Bubsky's already been picked up. Tricked wanted to go for a fast B play, but it's been sectioned off, or at least these players have. Borup will dive through with the Molotov, but Buster's already here, ready and waiting. Second kill coming through on his 3rd shot fired. Avangar, no issue on this B site today. Buster's eventually killed, but he's done his job. Sanji just needs to stay alive, and he might do more than that, putting Shush down to 10 points of health and even killing Acor around corner. Shush, 30 kills, and he needs 4 more if he wants to win this round.
Yeah, as good as he's been, 13 points of health in a 1v4 does feel like almost an impossibility. He's going to give it a go, but James has already arrived with the AWP in hand and will make quick work of him. 11-12 to still try to keep the dream alive, 1 away from equalizing this back out, and the AWPs were the answer here for Avangar. Buster and James showing up in that round.
And that's the thing you have to remember, despite the scoreline being favorable for Tricked, you know, we've had Tricked multiple times in this series be up by big leads and then concede big leads, and you know, it came very close. Think back to that 13-6 train scoreline that went to OT. It's not over till it's over, Harry, and Avangar know that more than anyone. Buster's even opened up towards B, again killing Bubsky. Probably won't be going for that one anytime soon. So man advantage. And already 2 pistols in play in this round. It's far from perfect for Tricked.
I'm going to go back to B, back to Buster. He's got that AWP over towards short. Sanji's just jump peeking for the info. That smoke rain's in, and now Buster's head going to swivel back up towards the apartments, try and help his teammate out here as his play looks to come in. Sanji is going to get shut down straight away, and Buster, good flash to get him off the angle. He tries to get away through short and will just get by in the nick of time. Shush continuing this aggression, 6 or 5 points of health rather, as he pushes up towards the kitchen. Molotov will hold back Buster from this short avenue for the time being, and still a little ways away. They almost line up for Borup, not quite, but he's brought James down within inches of his life. Hunden's only got the CZ, they try and wrap onto him, they get out, they get close, and Hunden's gonna fall. Kicker gets him, 12-12. Avangar make the retake happen. It's down to the wire, but they get the job done.
That's a lovely little BX set there from Trick though, right? Already a man down, and with 2 pistols, they managed to get the entries into B. They force Buster off the site, they kill Sanji, close apartments, and lovely little flashes coming through from Borup as well to get these players out of the apartments in the first place. Close round for Tricked, but Kicker will not let it happen. 12-12. Avangar fighting to their last breath. Ooh, nade stacking window. Tricked have 3 of them, and the smoke's down. Oh, Fitch is bailed. Good timing for him. He gets a kill and even gets out of that one. Sanji's trying to cover the connector, but they're already through. And Acor's found 2 with a deagle. The boost coming through. James needs to win this fight, or this round is going to fall apart before they even know it. Patient as anything, but they're already inside of the connector. The second he fires off a shot, he fires off the warning bell, and they can chase him down. Buster's reaggressed up on Catwalk. James, what was that? He just blew something towards him. Was that a gun?
I think he
blew the AWP towards him from Fitch with the HE grenade. He didn't have to fight middle. He didn't want someone up in the window to grab that weapon.
I like this little, you know, they've boosted Bubsky, but he hasn't committed to creeping into the window. And this is good because now even as this B play comes in, you're going to kind of imagine, okay, well then, oh no, Kicker.
See ya.
Ooh, never mind. The B bomb site might be open for business after all. Now Bubsky can come in on this late flank, and that's what I was waiting to see. Missed shot from Buster. And the longer they take for this rotate to come through, Bubsky actually gets spotted, but Jane wasn't able to deal with him on the flank round. Buster gets fed to the wolves, and James is so far away from this bomb site. He gets up onto short. He's going to try and attempt the 1v3, but missed shot initially, and that's him running for the hills. Tricked with just Deegs, with just pistols. They find a 13th round, and they keep this lead continuing in the second half.
Unbelievable stuff with pistols as well, Harry. There's no armor in this round. Huge work from Acor to get those 2 opening 1 Deegs. And despite Avangar, I mean, they tried their best. They had that, strong B setup, considering they had 2 players there, 1 deep apartment and the AWP on the site. Tricked, not even swayed. They get away with an AWP as well. Free upgrade for Acor, free round for Tricked. It's 13-12. So back and forth. Who will be the first to crumble? That's the question. Here are those Deegs from Acor that made this round a reality. Great trade from Hunden as well. Kickit certainly could have gotten more than just 1 in the apartment. And now it's Avangar's money that's called into question.
Yeah, I mean, that is such a huge round to lose for Avangar, and they know it, right? That is the one that kind of decides almost, I don't want to say the fate of this game, but it very much could, right? It's undoubtedly a huge swing round towards the end of this half.
It leaves them with 1 buy round left. And that'll be next round, assuming they don't win any, of course.
Which, with that AWP still in the hands of James, sometimes can be quite the assumption to make.
Yeah. And look at where he is.
Yeah, he's over in the apartment, so actually he's a long way from this A bomb site. They try and stack 3 players there early, and they use the AWP to scout the apartments. He didn't see anyone, so now they're going to start to rotate both players back towards A. Might actually just decide to only make it James. They're going to keep Buster watching for a window boost. But I like the idea initially from Avangar. They didn't see anyone deep back in the apartments, and now they're pretty sure this is going to be the A play. Early damage found onto Bubsky, and Kicker tries to hunt it. Now the nade gets him after, but that is still a nice kill to find. Jane from CT trying to push into this bomb site, trying to throw some resistance the way a Trick finally bows out. They lose the man up in Palace. Tried to assemble this boost down in CT, but it hasn't seen anything yet.
Boost up. James trying to use Buster as bait to go out first, and he can trade. There's the kill, but Acor's not re-peeking. He knows exactly where James is, and he doesn't want to give a slither of an opportunity away to Avangar here. As you said, these rounds are certainly winnable, even with just 1 weapon. James playing close. He's got the kit, but there's no way they're going to be feeding him more than 1 kill here. Borup close by. No flash for him, but he is so prepared. James doesn't even get a chance. The pre-fire around the corner and the 14th round for Tricked. We were waiting for this buy to come through for Avangar. And I wonder, because James didn't save there, he stayed around. Do they have money for that AWP moving forward? I imagine someone can drop it over, maybe. He actually had 3K in that round, so yeah, he's going to be just fine to bring that in for 1 more, but no armor behind it. And this is not the buy you want up against 14, I'll tell you that.
No, I mean, the following round is even more grim if they lose this. So this is their last attempt with a full buy, if you can call it that. A play coming in, and Kicker tries to play the trigger discipline. He's going to wish that he just fired off the shots he could have hit. He's been dropped initially. And this A bomb site's gone. Avangar, I think they have to save.
Yeah.
I think you look at this and you say, okay, we have to just take these rifles with us into the next round. And Trick, I mean, you can almost bet that they're not going to let them get away with it for free. Once they realize the save calls come in, you are going to send a couple of hounds out. You're going to de-leash players like Shush. Send the bloodhounds after these saving players.
Bubsky's crashed, it looked. Oh no, he's back in. I think he tabbed out. Luckily, it's not going to make any difference, but you can definitely see he's looking frustrated. Bob's come in to support him. Thankfully, that was not during an important situation. Tricked had already guaranteed the round. But I imagine we're going to have a pause right after this just for a second. Either way, yeah, Avangar, no kits, no utility. They had to save in that situation. They do bring the AWP forward for another round, but this is it. This is Tricked bordering semi-finals. 1 round separates them from that. And what a way they've gotten here, right? To go and get 16-5'd in their opening game here at Summer and then bounce back and pick up a victory in the best of 3s. 2 victories in the best of 3s, taking down Windstrike earlier on today and now looking to double up, add another CIS roster to that list. And led by Shush on 31 kills.
Yeah, he's just having a phenomenal game, isn't he? I mean, you know, we so often say that a lot of these kind of younger, less experienced players are so hungry for wins on stages like this, but this guy, I mean, you can really tell that he is. 31 kills.
I have not seen him not smiling yet.
He does seem very positive, doesn't he? And I can't say I blame him,
No.
to be fair. If I was just annihilating everyone I played against, I would probably feel pretty happy as well, Hugo. And I mean, just one round away from a huge upset victory. And it's more like the fashion in which they will have done it in. If they pick this round up, it's so impressive, right? You take Train, sure it's in an overtime, but they still played a very convincing game. They were still the team to keep arriving
Incredible
at points
T-side.
first. And then coming into Mirage, a map that's been so good for Avangar historically, versus, you know, one of the heavyweight teams at this event. And you have just potentially beat them in 2 maps.
It's not done yet, though. We had the same scoreline back on Train, and that still made it to OT.
Very
so
true.
let's see if Avangar can repeat history. Hopefully this time a little bit more favorably once we hit overtime, but they've got to get there first. 3 rounds. James unable to get the pick-in window. There was a gap in that smoke, but Akor's spamming it now. Bubsky, ooh, he spots the jump peak, but James gone back in for more with this orb. Through the Molotov as well. Oh, he's so committed, and it might come back to bite him. Down to 30. That was a really nice try. Bubsky almost goes down there. Doesn't know what could have hit him. But James got to go back passive towards the market. Borup taking connector in the meantime, and they can take this bomb back through the spawn and go for an A play. That seems to be the call from Tricked. It's been their bread and butter all T-side long. These A executes have been flawless. And Avangar have been left to save every single time. We're up against a loss here in the second map. They have no choice but to go for this one.
Well, 2 players over within the realms of CT, one of those being Jane. When these smokes rain in, there's only one of them on A-Core, so I'm curious where they're going to decide to put this, or if they do just try and take these fights dry. I mean, they haven't telegraphed any sort of play, and with just 20 seconds left, they try and go for the Hail Mary. Shush taking his teammate down. Jane going to make his presence known, but it is traded by Bubsky. Fitch gets one. 10 seconds on the clock here, and Borup's fallen. It's Shush alone. 1v2 does have the bomb on his back, and he's going to get the bomb down. Now, he has looked phenomenal all day long, but surely this 1v2, bomb planted, they start to creep forward. He spots the first man and the second as well, but their trade is found, and Avangar, they keep the dream alive. 13-15, 2 rounds away from another overtime.
They thought he was default, Harry. They had no idea he was triple. Buster was creeping in, staring at default there. I guess once he backed off inside of the connector, Shush crossed towards triple, and he assumed that there's no way he would have gone for such an ambitious play. Bomb plant does come through, though, so Tricked at least get that money. Not that that's been a problem. There's only 2 rounds left. They are rolling in dollars. But Avangar save themselves once again, looking to get the second overtime working. Akor's fast this time. Look at the AWP. Straight in through short. James going to miss a shot in the connector. Does he get out? Only just. Both these players whiffing shot after shot. James very thankful that he was given a second chance here. Bust is still aggressively up on the catwalk. He could get aggressive with another flashbang, but opts not to do so. Borup deep inside of the connector as well. You see players leaving the A site here for Tricked, so maybe not committed towards this A play, maybe wanting to lurk late into B. They've got this one-man connector who could come in on the back line, get some kills on the rotations, rather. And Avangar got the wrong read. 2 players coming back from B in through the spawn, hoping for another A play from Tricked. It has been pretty consistent, but this time it's the cat split.
Oh, but they start to rotate players background. I don't even know what this is based on. I don't think there's been any sound cues made. Now the push comes in, and they can feel pretty sure in this B play. 3 players here for Avangar, 4th in rotation. Sanjay falling at the first hurdle. Buster trying to keep the dream alive that much longer. He will get shut down. It's Akor landing that shot onto Fitch that's made this round a possibility. 30 seconds on this clock for Akor, 1v2. bomb in the middle of the bomb site. He has to get across. AK retrieved, and it's the close man inside of the site. Kicker should solidify this one, and indeed he will. Avangar 14 to 15. They keep on fighting, now just one away from overtime. We saw it happen on Train. Surely it cannot happen again here on Mirage.
I don't know how I wouldn't be so sure at this point. The cracks are showing, the tides are turning, and Avangar are starting to make it look possible. Only one round away, rather. Tricked on their final tactical pause coming through. They're not going to have any left if we hit overtime. They've been dependent on them, but to come so far and just one more hurdle to cross, Harry. Can they do it? That's the question. Really nice B play there. Avangar just having the rotations just seconds before that push came through, and big effort from Kickert as well to get a couple of kills, as well as Buster towards that bench. But here it is, breaking point, 15-14, last round of regulation here on Mirage. James again back on the catwalk, met with a lot of flashes, but no opponents. Oh, no.
No. How's that happened?
That's huge.
Where did Fitch even die to?
Connector. Oh, 2, top mid.
Yeah, he got wallbanged, so I guess just through the edge of Con. Okay, that's fair enough. But then they also lose James at the exact same time over at short. Bobski able to open up B. Now only Buster here. All that stands between Tricked and this B bomb site. Kicker has come rotating around to help out, but it's all a fake. It's a ruse. Tricked. Their running shoes are on, and they've got a brochure for the A bomb site. They're getting in here now. Plenty of time to set up in these post plants. Bomb can go down, and they're going to wait, see if any of these flanks or any of these fast rotations come through, rather.
That molly was meant for the window.
Ooh, Kicker from CT. Pulls it back to the 2v2. Doubles up. Trade is there. And it's Shush versus Buster. Once again, it falls onto the shoulders of this man to clutch. Wasn't able to do it the last time around, but this time 100 points of health, almost 22 HP on Buster. One shot is all that is required from either side of the equation. And Shush, he's gone for the wrap round. He's all the way in mid. Buster, surely he has no idea that this is where this man resides. He's tapping the bomb, he's baiting the peak, he anticipates a CT play, and now he's just got no choice but to stick it. Doesn't even have a kit. I think there's no time anyway, and Shush wins it in the 1v1. Tricked 16-14. They take this series 2-0, and they lock in at that semi-final spot. What a performance. And Shush, I mean, they really do owe that man a drink, because my word, he puts up, what, 32, 33 kills?
35 kills, Harry.
35 kills.
That clutch was his 35th
in
kill.
that one map as well. Train was another phenomenal performance from him. Definitely someone to keep an eye on at the rest of this event and in general, I feel.
Definitely the rest of this event as well, right? This guy's 20 years old. He just 35 bombed Avangar and sent them out of the tournament. They will be going home. And that is a surprise. That's not a game that we expected to go that way, but I can't say I didn't enjoy it. What a performance from Tricked. And then moving to the semi-finals now. Now we got a couple of Danish teams in the semi-finals. Yeah. We got Optic, we got Tricked, we got some rivalries and some storylines starting.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really shaping up to be one hell of a playoff stage, right? I mean, we still have to decide our final team that heads on through, obviously, but that's coming up in just a bit. We're going to bring back in the analyst desk because that was a blinder of a game, and I feel like you guys might have something to say about that.
You know, the one time I don't go for Tricked. They pulled off that huge upset. It would have made me look like a genius. But the reality is no one saw that coming, so hats off to them. And commiserations to Avangar, who just kind of fell apart. I mean, champions of DreamHack Rio come in, they're a heavy favorite, and they lose to a team who is a huge underdog.
Yeah, not making playoffs is a shock, like a real shock. Like the game yesterday where it was like really close, you could sort of go and take it like, okay, it was close. They played reasonably well. There was some few mistakes, but every single player still had their moments, and James was still firing on all cylinders. In the first map, the same thing, but in the last, it really wasn't that good. Like actually, there was quite a few mistakes actually being made. Like I saw a few like ridiculous plays, especially on their T side, like just running out ramp, trying to throw a Molotov while standing in the open. It was like, okay, that's a 4v5 straight away. And it looked like there was a bit of a mess just overall.
And I can't say that I've ever seen Avangar be punished so heavily for their slow, methodical style of play. We're usually up here commending them and complimenting their play style, but here it seemed like they were so undecisive, and the confidence and the no-fear play style coming at a Trick really punished Avangar.
I mean, the reality is you got to look at one player. Shush played out of his mind. So watching this team, I started to get flashbacks to DreamHack Austin of last year at the Open, where it was Stown who was playing for then Fragsters, who had a huge tournament, and we were all saying the same thing, like, this kid is something else, this kid is something special. And I feel like watching that game, I was really getting flashbacks to like, maybe this kid is like an up-and-comer Danish player, because coming into that event, we didn't really expect that much from Stown, and coming into this event, we didn't even really know who Shush was. He was relatively unknown on a global scene. Yes, in the Danish scene, people knew who he was.
It's unfair.
It's like actually
the
kind
Danes
of
have too much
unbelievable.
talent.
Yeah, right there. It's like the Danish scene and the Swedish scene. It's like the talent pool just keeps going and going and going and going. So
where's the English?
I mean, a 2-0, and he dropped like 65 kills, by the way, across like 2 maps.
Ridiculous.
So we do have Hunden standing by for an interview. Hunden, congratulations on the victory, and also, I mean, I gotta say, hats off to you guys. You really pulled off a huge upset there.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, but we have played them a lot in practice lately, so we knew what to do against them, I guess.
Do you feel like that really was an upset, or coming into that, did you guys feel very confident that this was going to be potentially your series to take?
I think it's a big upset, to be honest. We have played really bad lately. We lost the minor qualifier. We were pretty heartbroken after that, so I'm really happy we can perform here today, especially after yesterday.
I've got 2 questions. One, is it pronounced Shush, for starters? Because honestly, like, I don't know where you sort of found this guy. And secondly, is it someone that you've been like watching for a long time, or has he just surprised you as well with how fantastic he was in this series?
In Danish, we call him Shush.
Shush. Okay, I'm never going to get that right, but thank you.
You can give it a try later on. No, I have not played in Denmark for the last 2 years, pretty much. I was in Germany for a long time, so when I went back to Trick, I had to pick up a good team who could make it into top 30 and stuff like that. So, and then I saw this Shush guy, and he was really, really good on the Golden Gitte team. So it was an easy pickup, but the process has also been really, really hard for us.
Hunden, I've got a question for you, specifically about Shush and Bubsky. It seems that their playstyle is very aggressive. They're consistently in forward positions. Is this a part of your game plan, and is this you setting them up, or is this more of them using their intuition and game sense and making moves themselves?
I think it's both things, to be honest. When we play the default and we want to take map control, it's pretty easy if the outer positions of the map also take some attention, so me, Borup, and Akor can get the control of the map. So sometimes they take a lot of attention for us, so we can get the map control easier. So it's a part of the plan, but it's also really, really hard to learn, and sometimes we lose on it, sometimes we win on it, I guess.
I have one more question for you. Yesterday, when you guys played that best of 1, you specifically had a really rough game. You just never really seemed to get a chance to get your foot in the door. What changed from that game to today, where you've actually been putting up some pretty decent numbers?
I think if you have a rough game, then go 420, then it's okay. But overall, after the game yesterday, we had a really, really long talk, and afterwards we went to watch the demo, and it looked really bad, but I think it was small mistakes all over the place, and afterplans and stuff like that. So we just went over the game and talked about we just need to make more headshots today, and we did that, all of us, I guess.
Well, congratulations on the big win. Good luck tomorrow in the playoffs.
Thank you.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how well Trick played. But I'm also, like, him alone. Hunden played way better than I expected him to. After that first day, I was like, it was sort of like a meme. Like Hunden has said before, I'm okay not being a statistical leader as long as the team gets the win. That's all that matters. So when he has a score that's 4-20 with like 30 ADR, you have to be like, okay, well, obviously stats matter a little bit. And then he shows up today, and he's been doing well in all of their series. Not necessarily the top of the scoreboard, but like we said it before, impact.
It's the classic, though. It's the in-game leader classic. It's like, if your team has a very good game, a lot of the time someone else gets the limelight, and when your team has a very bad game, you're the one who's blamed. Like, it's one of those horrible roles, and that's the reason a lot of the time you see the best in-game leaders get kicked out of teams, and then even then the team falls apart. It is just a fact of Counter-Strike. Like, people look at the stats, and sometimes it's going to be him who's going to get blamed, but as long as he has the attitude he has, where he does not care, it doesn't matter.
It's certainly a catch-22, and I think it's important that teams and players, and especially Hunden, as he tweeted out, he understands the value that he brings to his team and the value that he brings into that server. And so as long as he's reminding himself and reminding his players, things like this match, this series today can definitely happen.
Now, Potter, I'm told you have a drawing board segment ready for us here.
Yes, so this is a round that's nothing really that special, but it's actually quite impactful within the whole picture. And so I'm going to push play here. We're going to see that Tricked Esports, they've hardly got anything, but you can tell that they are a team with a plan. They've got 3 HE grenades, and they're going to shoot them all towards this middle window, and it doesn't do any damage. And I think this gives Fitch a false sense of confidence because he's going to re-peek here into 3 deagles and get immediately punished right after. And these kinds of I think I can mentality, if Fitch just falls back here, communicates the numbers to his teammates, and they adjust accordingly, this should be an easy win for Avangar. But since he goes down and then Sanji follows right after, this is somehow all of a sudden now a Tricked Esports advantage. And what's even more impressive from Tricked Esports' spot here, they don't just go wildly into a site and just throw away this round. They stop, they reassess, and they calculate their next move. And we're gonna see here going up, fast forwarding a little bit, bore up into the speed tunnels, gets caught out. You think this is gonna be bad, but Hunden, these trades coming out from Tricked Esports, we talked about it in the pregame leading up to this match. They have to be aggressive and force those trades, and that's exactly what we saw here. We're gonna see Hunden and A-Core really focusing on spacing and getting into this bomb site. They wanna get into these forward positions and really make Avangar uncomfortable. And now, unfortunately, it's a 1 versus 3 for James. This round turned on a dime, just like that. Within 10 seconds, it all of a sudden became a Tricked Esports round, and these are the kinds of mistakes that you cannot afford to make when you're Avangar.
You said it. They needed to be aggressive. A wise man once said, "Be aggressive. B-E aggressive. B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-S-I-V-E aggressive.
Yep.
B-E aggressive." Very great quote. I think it was Walt Whitman or James Joyce that said that. I'm not sure which one of the.
Gandhi?
It might have been. Actually.
It might have been Gandhi.
I'm not really sure, but I'm sure it was written on an ancient scroll somewhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reality is you have to just look at the way that they played, and also look at Avangar and be like, what do you fix? Because they won in Rio against Furia, who was like a heavy favorite coming into the finals, especially us on the desk. We were like totally riding the Furia wave, and we've seen what Furia's been able to do since. This is a massive jump downwards for a team like Avangar, who is on the rise. This is a huge blow, and we were talking about it. James is consistently putting up numbers, like 30+ kills almost every single game.
They are.
You have to wonder if he's going to get frustrated after a while.
I'm sure he is frustrated, but I think if Avangar take a step back and they look at this series, they look at their run in this tournament, they've gotten a little unlucky, and it's all due to their own individual mistakes. And so these are definitely really easy fixes. I think if they go back into the server and just rediscuss what their game plan is going to be, I think these should be pretty easy fixes for them.
But yeah, also I think Kicker having an uncharacteristically bad tournament, like up until this point, he has been pretty consistent. I think Sanji's a little bit more in a supportive role, so I'm not that surprised. But Kicker especially is someone who is normally right up there with Jamie, or he'll have an even better game. Like he'll be a standout player. So the fact that he's had a poor tournament, it's something that I don't think they're going to be too worried about. I don't think they'll make any changes. Firstly, because I don't think there's anyone they can put in except for maybe like Sumda Young or someone like that that would make a big difference. And for someone like James, there is no better team for him than Avangar. Like, there's nowhere he can go.
And it is a little uncharacteristic when you're watching Avangar play and you see Fitch as the secondary top fragger, and you kind of wonder, what happened to Buster and Kicker? They're usually up there, so it's definitely a little concerning.
For sure.
Yeah, you have to look at this at a grand scope. You can't look at this through a microscope. Yes, this was a frustrating blow and a setback for the team, but ultimately they're still doing well across the board, and they're still trending upward. It would have been great to see them make it into the playoffs, but they don't. They are sent home, but we still have one more match to finish off this crazy day. And I say crazy because they are coming up next on stage. They're going to be facing off against Ancient, but we will return in just a bit with more of DreamHack Open Summer 2019. Stay tuned.